Okay, so there is a huge moderate risk of severe weather for um, Minnesota and North Dakota. There's an enhanced risk of severe weather for North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Well, not the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, but Lake Superior, and Wisconsin. Slight risk of severe weather for the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and marginal risk of severe weather for Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan. Now, I was not expecting a moderate risk of severe weather for these areas. Shut up, cat! Don't start for real. Don't start. Anyway, I was not expecting moderate risk of severe weather for these areas. It's North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota. They get a few moderate risk of severe weathers every year. They get them about every year. It's not like here in Michigan where we don't get moderate risk of severe weathers every year. It's very rare in Michigan. But up there in North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, they get a few moderate risk every year. But still, this is North Dakota's and Minnesota's first moderate risk of the year. Actually, this seems like a derecho is forming. If a derecho forms, I honestly won't be surprised. It's the Upper Midwest. We get a lot of derechos here. And it's July 17th. I'll say between July 15th and July 20th is where the most derechos happen in the Upper Midwest. Last year on July 19th and July 20th, we had 2 derechos in 2 days that blew through North. Well, first, the derecho last year on July 19th formed in South Dakota, and then it turned to some huge squall line, and it blasted across Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, and New York. But shut up! But, let's take a look at tornado probability. Okay, so it's not that much of a tornado risk. I mean, it's 5%. That's, still not too low. I mean, it's 5% for tornadoes, so not too high but not too low. Wind, Jesus fucking Christ, it's 45%. Yes, it's a derecho. Yep, a derecho is forming. A derecho is definitely forming. 45% hatched for winds. That's fucking outrageous. 45% hatched for wind. Okay. This is just like that moderate risk we had here in Michigan on June 10th. This is the exact same wind category. And trust me, those storms here, packed the punch when we had that moderate risk. Hail. Okay, so it's only 15% hatch. So, not high. Not high at all. I mean, it's a little, it's up there, but it's not like extremely high. So the main threat will be wind. A few tornadoes are possible. Some large hail is possible. I mean, it's 15% in hatch, it's possible. But the main threat will be wind today. So I checked the future radar. A squall line is forming. So I believe this will be a derecho that will blast across Michigan. Also, which is my state. It's not going to blast across the lower peninsula because you guys know I'm in the lower peninsula. But the upper peninsula of Michigan could get, some nasty storms. Now, we will get some storms on, what's today? We will get some storms on Saturday and Sunday here in Michigan. On Sunday, I believe I'm at a marginal risk of severe weather. We'll see later. But, the larger population areas included in moderate risk of severe weather is Fargo, North Dakota, Grand Forks, North Dakota, Moorhead, North Dakota, West Fargo, North Dakota, and Jamestown, North Dakota. Larger population areas in enhanced risk is Duluth, Minnesota, St. Cloud, Minnesota, Bismarck, North Dakota, Superior, Wisconsin, and Aberdeen, South Dakota. Larger population areas, oh shit, what just happened? I think they just updated something. Larger population areas in the slight risk is Minneapolis, Minnesota, St. Paul, Minnesota, Bloomington, Minnesota, Pitoff, Minnesota, and Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Larger population areas in the marginal risk is Rochester, Minnesota, Eau Clary, Wisconsin, Wasau, Wisconsin, Mankato, Minnesota, and Bozeman, Montana. But But yeah, that is a big moderate risk of severe weather. Now, North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota averages a few moderate risk every year. South Dakota, Minnesota is in tornado alley. North Dakota is not so much in tornado alley, but they still get tornadoes. So I'm not surprised at all. If we had like a moderate risk of severe weather in some place like Idaho, Oregon, or Washington, I would probably lose my shit. But you know, it's North Dakota, Minnesota. They get moderate risk of severe weather every year. They average at least 4 of them every year. So it's not, you know, here in Michigan we average 0 every year. That's our average, 0. And then we got our first moderate risk on June 10th, and those storms pat the punch. I haven't been under moderate risk of severe weather since 2013 until June 10th. But anyway, off topic. I'm pretty sure some of these rousing storms will probably fuck the Upper Peninsula of Michigan up. But mainly the severe threat it will stay in, you know, North Dakota and Minnesota mainly. But there is an enhanced risk that goes all the way up into Saskatchewan and Manitoba, Canada, or Manitoba, whatever you say that, but it goes all the way. Wait, no, never mind. That's Saskatchewan right there. This is Manitoba or Manitoba, whatever you say that, and this is Ontario. So the enhanced risk goes all the way up into Manitoba and Ontario. But there is a slight risk of severe weather over there in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, so I won't be surprised if a few rounds of storms go through. Now, we might get a tornado watch for, you know, North Dakota and Minnesota, maybe even South Dakota. I doubt that. The highest we might get is a PDS severe thunderstorm watch, a particularly dangerous situation severe thunderstorm watch. But you know, I doubt that because on June 10th, when we had a moderate risk of severe weather, which is, you know, the same thing that's going on in North Dakota right now, we only got a regular severe thunderstorm watch. It wasn't a PDS severe thunderstorm watch. It was a tornado watch. So I think it will be a severe thunderstorm watch, maybe a PDS severe thunderstorm watch. I highly doubt that, but I will keep you guys updated. So if you live in North Dakota, Minnesota, and Wisconsin, maybe even South Dakota, northern South Dakota, stay on the lookout. I know you guys are used to storms like this. You know, the Dakotas and Minnesota, they get storms all the time. But I know you guys are used to this type of shit, so, you know, stay on the lookout. Even in Wisconsin, if you live in Wisconsin, stay on the lookout. I know some of you guys live in Wisconsin. I know somebody that comments on my videos lives in Milwaukee. Milwaukee is not in the risk of severe weather, but you know, they're still in general thunder, so they can still get thunderstorms. And if you live in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, because I know somebody that subscribes to me lives in Hilton, Michigan, over there in the Upper Peninsula. You guys are way up there. So if you guys live up there, stay on the lookout. So yeah, that's the forecast for today. Tomorrow, there's actually a slight risk of severe weather for South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And there's also a marginal risk of severe weather for Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota, Minnesota, Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, northern Michigan, and the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, as you can see. The tornado risk is only 2%, but there's still a tornado risk. Shit, the whole Upper Peninsula basically is in a tornado risk. The whole Upper Peninsula. The wind, oh shit, 15% at hatch for wind. Okay, and hail. Okay, only 15% hatch, but there is a slight risk of severe weather. Shit, you know, not too serious. You know, it's just a slight risk. You know, ain't nothing too serious about that. And the day 3 outlook, which is Sunday, there's a huge marginal risk of severe weather that extends from northern Wyoming all the way up to northern New York. So that's a big marginal. Now, I am in a marginal risk of severe weather on Sunday. So that is 2 days from now. So, as you can see, Chicago, Illinois, Detroit, Michigan, which is my city, Indianapolis, Indiana, Columbus, Ohio, and Kansas City, Missouri, are all the larger population areas in the marginal risk. I am not going to say every state in the marginal risk of severe weather because I don't want to waste any time. I have shit to do. I have a life. So, as you can see, there is 1, 2, 3, 4. So, it's about 13 states at the risk of severe weather. But yeah, I am in a marginal risk of severe weather. Basically, the whole lower peninsula of Michigan is in a marginal risk of severe weather on Sunday, which means a marginal risk of severe weather, which means we can get a few severe thunderstorm warnings, maybe a pop-up tornado, but nothing worse than that. But yeah, this severe weather outbreak definitely in forecast for North Dakota and Minnesota. But yeah. So there you guys go. If you live in North Dakota, you guys are under the gun. You are in a very dangerous situation, so you have to take this shit seriously. Make sure you have your weather radio, and yeah. So I'll see you guys later. I'll keep you guys updated if a tornado watch or something gets into, and I'm done.